Yeah, 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 yeah. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So, little disclaimer, this video is going to be talking about plastic surgery. So if you don't agree or like the idea of plastic surgery, please don't watch. I don't want any negativity. I'm already hard on myself about it as it is. And I'll be talking about that in this video. As you guys can tell already by the title, you know that I'm gonna be talking about removing my breast implants. So it has been a long journey with my experience with breast implants. I'm gonna start from the beginning. So let me rewind back to 2020. And you guys, I'm sorry if I am like talking fast or out of breath. Like I said, I'm super sick. No, but if I don't make sense, let me know, because it has just been such a journey, and I feel like I'm not really good at story times. I love them, but I'm not good at them because I just have so much like in my mind at once that I want to get out and talk about, and I just start rambling and whatever. So hopefully that doesn't happen this video, but I'm gonna try to fast forward to my very first breast augmentation. So I got my boobs done the very first time in November of 2020, literally the day before Thanksgiving. My experience getting the surgery was amazing. Like, I had no pain whatsoever. I was literally walking the boardwalk like hours after my surgery. I literally got my surgery, went back to my hotel, knocked out. I ended up taking a nap after I ate and got my meds in. Yeah, I woke up and had dinner on Santa Monica Pier at Bubblegum. Okay, so no pain there. Shout out to my doctor. And by the way, my doctor was Dr. Gerald Minetti. He does have social media, and I believe it's Gerald Minetti on there. He does work in Beverly Hills. He does amazing work, super natural. Going back to my experience, no pain, no nothing. So I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys remember 2020 was when COVID was still like super scary, super new, and everyone was still going crazy about it, even myself. My experience was amazing. I had no pain. I didn't even take my pain medication for the full, I think, week it is that they prescribe to you, or maybe give you 2 weeks. But I know that maybe my third day I was no longer even taking pain medication, guys. And I am gonna go ahead and insert like videos and pictures as I go along. Fast forward to I want to say it was maybe 1 month, like exactly 1 month after my breast augmentation, I ended up in the ER. So my symptoms were, I was like very anxious and jittery, and like something was just off. It felt like when you're getting like an anxiety or like a panic attack, and I just didn't feel right. So like I came home, I showered, and I laid down, and I remember I started getting the chills, and I was like, what the heck, you know, because I wasn't sick or anything. And then a few minutes later I pop out with a fever, and I'll go ahead and insert that temp there as well. I think it was like 102 point something, I don't know. And so it just hit me like right away. I automatically assumed that it was COVID. So I ended up just resting, taking a really hot shower. Like after I got some meds in me, I ended up going to the ER because my chest just felt super compressed and heavy, and literally felt like I couldn't breathe. And obviously those were like all symptoms of COVID at the time, you know. So I ended up going to the doctor. They did like x-ray, and they told me that I had COVID. Okay, so obviously we're in the middle of a pandemic. I didn't think anything of it, didn't think it had anything to do with my implants. That was the least of my thought. So they ended up doing an x-ray, and then I'll go ahead and put the results of what supposedly was causing the pain in my chest. I believe it was like hazy bilateral glass or something like that. It'll say in the photo. So then I took another shower, super hot showers. That's one thing about me. I love taking like steaming hot showers, even if I have just a headache. Like, so super hot shower helps me so much. So I get out the shower and I'm obviously drying myself off, and I noticed that the same area, which is like under my breast, it keeps like getting wet, and I'm like, dude, I just dried myself, like what is this? I was not thinking that it had anything to do with my implant or my incision or anything. I had somebody take a look under there. Like, I lifted my implant, I was like, what is that? What's going on there? And they tell me that like my incision like has a hole. Pretty much my incision was opening. And I started freaking out. Like, I remember I got super hot like right away, because I was like, there's no freaking way. Just because like my recovery and everything was freaking amazing. I know at a month, yes, I'm still recovering, but pain wise, like I was good to go. Like, I think I went back to work that next week. I was good. I was freaking out. I like had them take a video and like photos of what was going on. So right away, mind you, this was like an hour or two after the ER visit. So I called my doctor that did my breast implants, and I told him what had happened, you know, prior the whole ER visit, my symptoms and everything. And he's like, I actually think you have an infection. And obviously on the outside, like everything looked fine. I promise you guys, like when you see these pictures, like everything looked fine prior to that day, that hour, whatever. Like there was no redness, there was no pus, there was no anything, redness around the incision and whatnot. So this was all like, it just hit me like out of nowhere, and then I started freaking out, because I freak out about everything that has to do with health. Like, I stay away from Google, okay? I'm that person that needs to stay away from Google. So I showed him a video, because I told him what happened, and then we ended up FaceTiming. And at this point, I think it was already like almost midnight, if not midnight already. We FaceTime, and he's like, yeah, you have an infection. And since there was no like anything from the outside that would give it away, he said that it's an infection obviously in the incision, but from the inside out. So I'm gonna go ahead and insert video of like how it was gushing. Oh.
Let it out, let it out, let it out.
I am.
I'll pick it up.
Do you guys want to know the best part of all this? Was that I had to wait, I think it was 2 weeks, to have emergency surgery to obviously remove my implants. And I'm going to show you the video like of what I had to be doing every single day, like at least 4 or 5 times, because I had to keep that gauze that was pretty much in place of the hole of my incision. So whatever was opening, like I had to fill that with gauze, and I'll show you guys a video of how that was, and it was disgusting. I was at work like that, like for at least a week and a half, until I was able to get in for the surgery. I went in, I had surgery, we removed my implants, and obviously I had to have drains, you know, just to get all that nasty pus or whatever it was, infection, out. So that was not fun at all. I don't want to say I was sad. I couldn't process it because I just went into surgery. I just had an amazing recovery, and then 4 weeks after my surgery I end up in the hospital, and then 2 weeks after that I had to have emergency surgery to remove them. So I feel like it all just happened so fast, you know. It was what it was. 8 months later after recovery, because the doctor does recommend, I want to say, the least amount of months, between 3 to 6 weeks, just depending on like how we recover and everything, to go ahead and put them back. So I was back and forth. I think, because this was so long ago, guys, this was 3 years ago. I was back and forth about getting them in, but I did call the doctor and I was like, hey, it's been about this many months, you know, what do you recommend? Should I wait longer? Blah blah blah. And he said, no, you're good to go, because I ended up putting them back in 8 months later. I did end up going with a way smaller implant. My first round I did 475 cc's and they were way too big for me, so I ended up doing 380 my second round. So 8 months later I went in, and the only reason, honestly guys, I'm not even gonna lie, because I was back and forth, like I said, about putting them back and blah blah blah, but the only reason, few reasons I decided to, is because one, I wasn't gonna be charged full price. Like my first round of implants, it was 12,000 to be exact. It was 11,000 something, but I say 12 because including your ride, your stay, like hotel for that night, because the doctor does have to see you the next day, and it was in Beverly Hills, so that's like 1:45, 2 hours for me. So that's what I'm pretty much including, and like medication and just stuff like that, you know, my garments and whatever. So 12,000 the first round. So he did tell me that to put them back in, pretty much I was just going to be paying the OR fee and then like the replacement of the implant. So I think it was like 1,500, 2,000 max, I believe. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it, because I didn't have any pain the first round, and second, because I really didn't feel like I had experienced my boob job. So the price and the fact that I didn't experience it, and the fact that I had a great recovery, obviously aside from the infection, I said, okay, like I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. And I did decide to go way smaller. So now fast forward to 8 months later, so July of 2021 is when I put these that I have in now, 380 cc's. It's been 2 years now, okay, a little over 2 years actually, because we are now in September, and I still don't care for them at all, and I'm gonna explain why. So it's not that I like never had boobs, but obviously compared to like my size now, yeah, no. I want to say I was at least a full B cup. They were perky, they weren't like saggy or anything. Like I didn't even need a breast lift my first round, right, or my second either. I don't care for them, and my reasons are is because I'm a small person. Like I'm not tiny, but I'm 5'2", and my size right now with the 380 cc implants, I'm like a double D, almost an E, and I feel like I look even wider than I already am, because I do have broad shoulders. So I feel like I'm a lot wider. I feel like I look top heavy, and they just don't fit my lifestyle. And what I mean by that is I love cardio, I love to jog, I love to walk. That is my form of exercise. You know, I'm not a muscle mommy. I'm not, personally, I just don't like that look on me, but there are a lot of beautiful women, you know, that lift weights, and kudos to them. But I personally just love the very slim and lean look. That's what I mean by they don't fit my lifestyle, you know, because I love cardio and I don't need these slapping me in the face every time I'm trying to run, you know what I mean? I just don't feel like they complement my body at all. Like I don't like them. They're too big for me. They're not all that. Like I prefer some really nice curves and junk in the trunk, you know. So yeah, they're just not for me, and they look good on a lot of other women, but just not my body frame and the look I'm going for. Like, it feels super discouraging as well, guys. Like, putting all this work in, like working out 2 hours a day every single day, and I've lost so much weight, and it just seems so discouraging because yes, I'm seeing the numbers on the scale go down, but no matter, like, I wear a crop top, I wear whatever I wear, like, I still just look so big on top, and it takes away from my tiny waist, you know what I mean? And I just don't like it. It makes me look a lot bigger than I am, and they're just not for me. So I've been going back and forth for 2 to 3 months about, like, getting them removed or replacing them to a smaller size, and going over it with myself, like, what do I want to do? So I decided to set up a consultation, and I selected my doctor. I actually recently had my consultation earlier this week, so that's why I'm filming this video. I did call around, I did get a few quotes, but I ended up going with this specific doctor because they're closer to me. Doctors at other places, they were charging me a little over 11,000, and with this doctor my quote ended up coming up to 9,000. Yes, it's still pricey. The procedure I ended up selecting, I definitely think it's worth it at the end of the day. So they did quote me for 3 different types of removal. The first one was to just simply go in there and remove the implant. The second option, and I'm going to go over all of these and then tell you why I didn't select the 2 and why I went with the one I went with. So the second option was to go in there, do a breast lift and no implant, and the third one was to go in there to remove the implant, switch it, and do a lift. The reason I didn't end up going with to just go in there and remove and no lift was because, like the lady said, I'm not gonna really be happy with those results because my skin has stretched so much already from the implant that I have in here, because it is 380. I mean, it's a pretty big implant. So going from a natural B before implants to a double DE size wise, that's a big drastic change, you know. And skin, obviously, it stretches. It's just like when you lose weight. I mean, everyone's different, but for the most part, I mean, it just gets flabby, it hangs. You know, I wouldn't end up being happy with that because my skin did stretch, and it's been over 2 years already, you know, with this size implant. So, and the third option was to go in there, remove the implant, replace it with a smaller implant, and then do a lift. So she said no matter what size implant I end up going with, if I were to go that route, I would end up needing a lift. And obviously implants, every 10 years, whether you do the same size or not, every 10 years you have to go in and replace the implant. I mean, it's a foreign object in our body, you know, it's only good for so long, and 10 years is like the longest, you know. It could even be sooner, and it's like, do I want to keep dropping every 10 years because I'm still young? Do I want to keep dropping between 9 and 15,000 every single time I have to go in there and, you know, update my implants? Like, no. And not only that, the second reason is because if I were to do that as well, every single time that I go in to get a different size, I'm gonna have to have a lift. And it's like, what's the point of doing all that if I've already had breast implants for, let's say, 3 years, 2 different sizes, 3 different experiences? I'm still not happy with them, you know what I mean? I just don't like it. I just want my small perky boobs. Like, I don't know, I miss it. I miss being able to lose weight and actually looking skinny, you know. It just feels so discouraging, guys. And I decided to just go ahead and remove and do a breast lift with obviously my natural boob, whatever skin is left, so that they'll still be perky, still my original size from the beginning. And it does suck because it's like, why did I do all that? You know what I mean? Like, I could have just not got implants, but obviously, I mean, we live and we learn, you know. But yeah, I just hate that it also has to be the anchor cut. I am gonna most likely have to have drains, you know, because it is a breast lift, so that part sucks. but I'm also so ready. I'm anxious. I have my surgery date. It is November 8th and I'm so excited. Like, I cannot wait to just have no boobs. No, I'm just kidding. Just to be natural again, like, and feel confident and sexy and lose weight and see results and feel skinny and not feel so top heavy, and I don't know, just wear a size small. Like right now, I mean, my waist is tiny. Like, let me show you guys. Okay, this is my waist. Okay, look, this is a large, and it's like if I did not have, look at how much skinnier I would look, guys, if I did not have this up here. Like, look at that, all this progress. Like, imagine, look, I didn't have, look at how much smaller, like, just squeezing them in, and like, oh my god, I can't wait to actually be a size small, you know, because this shirt is a large. Like, all my shirts are large and extra large, and it's like, I want to be able to go from that to a freaking at least a medium, you know, with all the work I'm putting in. I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from. There are so many beautiful women with big breasts and no breasts. Like, I'm not judging anybody. This is just my experience. I mean, this is gonna be the 4th time, guys, that I messed with this area. And I'm not judging anybody. I'm not saying if you have big breasts, that's what you look like. I'm not saying if you don't have big boobs, you look better. Sorry, work was calling. Anyways, that sounded freaking ugly. I don't know why I did that. But anyways, guys, so that's what I ended up going with. I don't even know where I left off. I feel like I'm just freaking rambling at this point. I'm not saying anything about anybody else. If you want freaking F size Z boobs, I don't care. Like, everyone's body is beautiful in their own way. And it's all whatever you feel confident in your body. I've just been loving myself lately, and I'm like, why did I ever do those things? You know what I mean? I don't know. I just think it also had a lot to do with my confidence, and I want to be happy, like, in my body. I don't know, like, it's just a weird feeling. I don't know how to explain it. I'm just so ready to get rid of them, feel confident and sexy in my own skin, my own boobies, a small size, and just look skinny and feel confident and sexy all over again. So that is it for today's video. I wanted to get this out there just so you guys can know what I've been, you know, thinking about plastic surgery wise for a while. And I guess now that I have my surgery date, because I was gonna film this before I even had the consultation, because I already knew, you know, what I wanted to go and do. But I'm happy I waited, because now I was able to share with you guys why I ended up going with the option I went with. I didn't even know, you know, that was like gonna be a recommendation. I thought I was just gonna go and freaking remove them and be done. I'm really happy with the option I ended up going with. She pretty much laid it all out for me, was honest, showed me photos, and I love that, you know. It was up to me, and she even suggested to go with the option I went with because she can tell that I was just like over implants. Like, she showed me a 250cc implant, which is tiny, and I was like, that's huge, like I don't even want that. And she was like, yeah girl, don't get an implant. So yeah, shout out to Blanca. She was super friendly, helpful, and very welcoming, and made me feel super comfortable, and you know, shared some experiences and her opinions, and I love that. I will be vlogging my surgery experience, recovery, and everything. So if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments. I will, you know, reply, or DM me. I will let you guys know whatever questions you guys have. So yeah, I hope you guys stay tuned. I know it's still a while away, but I'm just freaking excited. I don't know, maybe I'll do it sooner, but as of right now, that's the date that worked for both of us. And yeah guys, so I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.